Ramaya Ramabhadraya Ramachandraya Vedase Raghunathaya Nathaya Sitaya Pataye Namaha. Ayodhya Kand, chapter number 45. The citizens follow Rama. The people of the harem, the ministers, and Dasharatha himself returned to Ayodhya, but the citizens followed the chariot of Rama as it spread its way through the forests out of their overmastering love for him. They knew no danger, no difficulty where Rama went, the flower of valor. They knew no bounds to their joy when they beheld his glorious form, their prince of unparalleled fame and excellence, even as the world cannot contain its joy and delight at beholding the Queen of Night in her full-orbed radiance. Time and oft they cried in entreaty, "Rama, turn back!" But his face was ever set towards the dark woods that his father's word might be kept. Supreme duty called out to him, and he was all powerless to return to Ayodhya as they would have him do. Their utterly unselfish love towards him evoked boundless compassion in his heart and affection. They were his children, as it were, and he turned again and again to gaze fondly at them. He would give them the very best advice under the circumstances and said, "I pray you to extend to Bharata the same kindness and respect that you have for me. Rest assured that nothing would give me greater pleasure. Say not, Bharata, the son of Kaikeyi, the sole heir to her unparalleled wickedness. Is that your reply to our answers and entreaties, that you deliver us over helplessly bound into his cruel hands? No, for Bharata is the very model of virtue, utterly pure and flawless is his life. He will, of a truth, secure you to every means to unbounded happiness here and hereafter. Young in years, he is grey in wisdom, soft-spoken and gentle, yet he is a hero of irresistible valor. He will stand between you and danger or sorrow and grief. Every royal excellence vies with one another to adorn him. That is why the king has chosen him to be his heir apparent. Lakshmana, Shatrughna, and myself regard our sire's lightest word as law. I look to you to so conduct yourselves that he grieves not for me while I am away in the forests. That is the shortest and surest way to my heart." As Rama went on expressing his firm resolve to carry out his father's commands at any risk, the desire grew and grew in the hearts of the citizens that none should rule over them but Rama. And again they prayed, "Rama, know we not that Dasharatha deputed you and you alone, his eldest son, to rule over this kingdom and protect us? Is it not your plain duty to abide by that arrangement? That is your father's promise to the world, and you keep it right well in acceding to our prayer." As the hunter ensnares the beasts of the forest and drags them after him wherever he goes, Rama and Lakshmana enmeshed the citizens of Ayodhya with their noble excellences and compelled them to follow wherever they went, weeping piteously. They were of three classes: elders in years, elders in wisdom, and elders in spiritual might. The first were unable to keep up with the fleet horses and lagged behind, their hoary heads shaking with age and infirmity. "O noble steeds that bear away from us cruelly fast our young prince, the light of our eyes, turn back, speed not towards the forest. We speak but in the interest of your master and ours." They stayed not, whereat the elders cried out, "Verily the sense of hearing is common to all creatures, and your ears are larger and more capacious. Our prayers cannot have failed to reach them, and it behoves you not to proceed thereafter. Your Lord is the soul of purity, the beau ideal of valor, and faithful to his word. If you seek to walk in the path of right and duty, you should turn back and bear him back to Ayodhya, not to the forest." The piteous accents of grief stirred the heart of Rama to its very depths. "It is atrocious for us to remain in the chariot, even after our ears have been pained with such words," said he, and got down in all haste, and with him Lakshmana and Sita. It was against the dictates of his generous heart to go further without offering solace and comfort to the Brahmanas, so he walked on slowly till they came up. A little while ago he took leave with folded palms of the people of the harem, the ministers and his father, and persuaded them to stop. But he did not come down from the chariot. It was quite another affair to stop the Brahmanas from following him. Boundless devotion to him filled his heart, for they knew clearer than others his divine nature and mission. He could not bear to look upon their grief and tears. It would be the greatest insult to stop them, seated as he was in the chariot. So his natural affection for them and compassion induced him to get down. But for all that, his face was turned away from Ayodhya, and he walked on towards the forest. At once the Brahmanas concluded that Rama had turned a merciful ear to their prayers and was returning to Ayodhya, and their joy knew no bounds. But when they saw that he descended from his chariot only to walk towards the forest, their hearts quaked with fear. Our grief and tears are powerless to stop him. Let us hamper him with our resolve to go with him to the woods, and surely he will not proceed any further. So they cried out, the holy mantras, the sacred rites, perfect wisdom, yoga, and all the other observances characteristic of the Brahmanas do follow you in the guise of this weeping crowd. You, who though a Kshatriya, still deserves the reverence and worship of the highest of Brahmanas. The sacred fires to whom we make reverential offerings lie enshrined in these fire sticks and follow you on our shoulders. Behold the countless umbrellas, white as driven snow, that we have won by our Vajpaya rites. They troop after you like the pale autumn clouds. The burning sun scorches your delicate limbs, and our umbrellas will give you a cool and refreshing shade. Our intellects had till now been engaged in the study of the Vedic mantras and in the unraveling of their heart doctrine, but nothing else occupies them at present but your grievous exile to the forest. The Vedas, the Shastras, meditation or study attract them not. Maybe you think we should not neglect the study of the Vedas that constitute our noblest wealth, or abandon our wives and children that look to us for everything. The Vedas are ever enshrined in our heart of hearts and would lose nothing by being laid aside for a time. Our wives are best guarded by the utter purity of their hearts and faithful devotion to us. It would do you no good to exile yourself to the forests. You will do better to return with us. Is it not your dearest wish to obey the behests of your royal sire? But how can we proceed about our duties if you are not with us? It is all unjust of you to seek to practice your dharma when you deliberately set about to ruin ours. We are Brahmanas, we are old in years, wisdom and spiritual fervor, yet we cannot tear ourselves away from your side. You are turning a deaf ear to our prayers, and you are still proceeding to the forest. You pride yourself on your steadfast adherence to the practice of dharma. Behold, we lay our hoary heads, white as swan, down in the dust and throw ourselves at your feet to pray you to return to Ayodhya. Many among us have begun yagas and yajnas relying upon your presence and help. How could they perform them if you go away from us? On you will fall the sin of having destroyed them. Never mind our prayers. Beasts and other inanimate objects do entreat you to come back. Can you not find it in your hearts to grant them their prayers, seeing that they love and reverence you so immensely? Behold these trees. Citizens of Ayodhya, they said to themselves, are supremely blessed in that they could go with Rama. Why should we be denied that honor and privilege? And they try to come with us, but because they are firmly rooted to the earth, the trees are unable to move. The wind that blows through their leaves is their piteous wail. Alas, we are powerless to go with our Rama, even as the citizens of Ayodhya. Rama, beloved Rama, are you not the inner ruler of all? Are you not the soul of mercy and compassion to all beings? When you are under the shadow of pain and affliction, is it a wonder that the whole universe, your body, should feel it too? Glance at the birds on yon tree. The food drops from their listless mouths. They fly not abroad. They dare not care to hop down to the earth. They sit there torpid as if their great grief has drained them of life and motion, sense and feeling. The Brahmanas walked on after Rama, moaning and praying, wailing and entreating when the river Tamasa rose in their path as if to say, Rama, slight not the request of the Brahmanas, go back to Ayodhya. Then Sumantra unyoked the tired horses, allowed them to have a roll on the ground, and gave them a nice bath and drink in the cool river. He then fed them carefully and gently walked them for a while along the banks of river Tamasa. Mangalam Koshilendraya Mahaniya Gunabdiye Chakravarti Dhanurja Sarva Bhaumaya Mangalam.